Okay. So in today's class we are going to see about the animal kingdom. How many questions are from animal kingdom? 3 to 5 questions or 2 to 5 questions. Okay, so we can expect minimum 12 to maximum 20 questions from the animal kingdom. Okay, so whenever we are going to we are seeing the animal kingdom, we have to focus what will be the classification of animal kingdom. So let me explain you briefly an outline classification of an animal kingdom. So in the animal kingdom, before that we have to know what is meant by taxonomy, hierarchy. Have you heard about domain? Have you heard about domain? So in domain we can classify it into two. Okay, one is prokaryotic and another one is eukaryotic. So what is meant by prokaryotic? Pro means poorly developed, karyon means nucleus, so poorly developed nucleus. So those organisms we are keeping under the prokaryotic. So eukaryotic means eu means true, karyon means nucleus. So those organisms are having true nucleus, we are keeping under the domain eukaryotic. So in this prokaryotic and eukaryotic, in this domain we are having many kingdoms. How many kingdoms we are having? 5 kingdom of classification. Okay, who put for this 5 kingdom classification? R.H. Whittaker. In 1969. R.H. Whittaker is the one who gives the 5 kingdom classification, but before that most of the scientists have given the 2 kingdom classification, 3 kingdom classification. Okay, so for now we are accepting R.H. Whittaker classification, that is 5 kingdom classification. That 5 kingdom classification will be kingdom 1 Monera. Monera means all the bacteria. Bacteria we are keeping under the Monera category. Next one is Protista. Protista means protozoa, chlamydomonas, euglena, volvox, pyrogyra, slime molds, all these are coming under the kingdom protozoa. And fungi, the third kingdom will be the fungi. We know agaricus, rhizopus, so all these will be coming under the kingdom fungi. And after that plantae. All the plants will be coming under the plantae kingdom and animalia. So all these animalia means what? We are coming under the kingdom animal kingdom. So these are all the 5 kingdoms. Anyhow we are going to see this once again. So 5 kingdom classification means these are all the 5 kingdom classification. So in one kingdom, say for an example we are going to see the animal kingdom. In one kingdom we are having many phylum. Okay, so in animal kingdom what are all the phylums we are having? Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Chordata. So these are all the phylums coming under the kingdom animal kingdom. So one kingdom having many phylum. Okay, so in one phylum, so in for example in phylum Chordate we are having many class. Okay, so after that order or family? So kingdom, phylum, class, family, order, genus and species. Okay, so these are all the taxonomical hierarchy. Okay, so see, just listen to me. So in the kingdom, in the domain we are categorizing into 2. One is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. In prokaryotic we are having one kingdom and that is nothing but a Monera. See, In domain we are classified into two, right? Prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So in prokaryotic, in the 5 kingdom of classification, what is that? Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So these are all the 5 kingdoms. In this, Monera is coming under the prokaryotic, and all other 4 kingdoms will be coming under the eukaryotic. So can I ask you a question? Protista is an unicellular eukaryote. So see, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Okay. So these are all the 5 kingdoms. So this Monera can be, we can say that as an unicellular. This Protista is also an unicellular. All these fungi, Plantae and Animalia are multicellular. Okay. So now, and after that, whether it is a prokaryotic or eukaryotic, Monera will be the prokaryotic. So whenever I am saying the word Monera, you should remember an example as bacteria. So bacteria is an unicellular and it is a prokaryotic, and Protista means you have to keep in mind the example as protozoa. So protozoa is an unicellular eukaryotic animal. Okay. Fungi is a multicellular, whether it is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. It is an eukaryotic. So all these will be the eukaryotic animal. So coming to the nutrition, Monera is following the nutrition of autotrophic or heterotrophic. So based on the nutrition, we can classify it into different types: autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition, saprozoic, parasitic. So these are all the types of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means, so those organisms has the capacity to synthesize their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis, so that we can call them as an autotrophs. Okay. So Monera, some bacteria can synthesize their own food, some bacteria can depend on the other organisms. So both the type of nutrition is possible here. So what about Protista? It is also an autotrophic or heterotrophic nutrition. Say for an example, Euglena is coming under the Protista category. So this Euglena has a dual property. In daytime they can perform photosynthesis. So in daytime they behave as an autotrophs. During the night time it can behave as a heterotrophs. Okay. So this fungi is following a nutrition called saprozoic. Saprozoic means, so those organisms feed on the dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, so that is what a saprozoic. So this fungi is also a parasitic. Parasitic means these organisms depends on the host organisms for their survival. Okay, so they depend on the so they take food from the host. Okay, so that is what a parasitic. Now after that, saprozoic and parasitic. So these are all heterotrophic. Anyhow, they are not going to synthesize their own food materials. Okay, fungi can follow all these type of nutrition. So what about Plantae? Whether it is autotroph or heterotroph, whether the plant can synthesize their own food materials or not. So they can synthesize their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis. So we can call them as an autotrophs. So animal is autotroph or heterotroph? Heterotroph, because we can't synthesize our own material, so we have to depend on plants or other animals for our food. So this is the basic understanding for the 5 kingdom of classification. Who given the 5 kingdom classification? R.H. Whitaker. Okay, fine. So in the domain prokaryote and eukaryote, in one domain we are having 1 kingdom, in eukaryotic we are having the 4 kingdom. So in the animal kingdom, we are going to see the animal kingdom. 1 minute. We are going to see the animal kingdom now. Okay. So animal kingdom, we can classify them into 2 based on the grade of organization. See, We have 4 different grades of organization. 4 grades. One is cellular level, tissue level, organ system level. What is meant by cellular level? What is meant by cell? How can we define a cell? Cell is a structural and functional unit of life. Okay, so without cell, cell is a basic structural and functional unit. Okay, so that is what a cellular grade of organization. Okay, so just listen to the listen here. Tissue means a group of cells. Okay, group of cells which are similar in size, structure and function. Okay, similar in structure and function, that we are calling them as a tissue. See, cell means an individual cell which is a structural and functional unit of life. Okay, so tissue means a group of cell which are similar in structure as well as in function. So we are calling them as a tissue. Organ means a group of tissue doing the same function is called as an organ. Organ system means a group of organ doing the same group of organ are coordinatively working for the similar function. So that is what an organ system. So different organ system combine together to form a complete human organism. So we say like an organ system gives a complete individual, that is an organism. Okay, say for an example, in human we are having a respiratory system. Okay, respiratory system, circulatory system, heart, okay, excretory system, nervous system. So all many important systems are present in the human. Let's take an example as respiratory system, like an organ system. See, respiratory system, what is a respiratory system? What are all the organs involved in respiratory system?
Lungs.
Only lungs?
Lungs, pharynx, nose.
See, nose, pharynx, larynx, after that tracheae, bronchi, bronchioles, tertiary, primary and secondary bronchioles, finally it is reaching the alveoli. We are calling them as a lungs. So all these organs doing which function? Which is helping in the respiration process. So group of organs doing the same function called as the organ system, and that is nothing but a respiratory system. Now, so in this nose, okay, we are having a nose. In that nose there will be the group of tissue. In that tissue they are involving in the, they are helping the organ called nose. So the group of cells present in the nose, they are doing the same, they are looking similar and doing the same function, that is called as a tissue. In that tissue, how the tissue is coming? It is a cell. Okay, so a cell is an, so this is what I am trying to say. A cell, after that tissue, and group of organs, and group of organs we are commonly called as an organ system, and finally a group of organ system, they are making up a complete organism is called as a organism. Okay, a group of organ system gives rise to a complete organism. Okay, so this is what a 4 grades of organization. Clear with this? Now come to this. Based on the grade of organization, animal kingdom can be classified into 2. One is cellular level. Cellular level, tissue, organ and organ system. Okay, based on this we can classify it into 2. Now, based on the symmetry, symmetry means a particular organism have a plane. Okay, see, this is consider this as an organism. If we cut this particular organism at any plane, we can come up with the equal morphological characters, similar morphological characters. Okay, so this is what a radial symmetry. Okay, so bilateral symmetry means, consider this as an organism, only when we cut at this side the organism, we can come up with 2 morphologically similar curves. For example, see, this is an eye. See, consider this as an organism. If we cut at this point, we can come up with here one eye, here one eye. The nose will be equally divided. The mouth is also equally divided. So only when we cut at this particular plane, we can come up with two morphologically similar halves. Okay. If we cut at this plane, whether we can come up with two equal halves?
No.
We can come up with equal halves, but it is not morphologically similar. Okay. So that is what a bilateral symmetry. In case of a radial symmetry, whatever be the plane we are cutting, we can come up with the morphologically similar halves. So that is what a difference between radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Okay. So this is what a symmetry. Now based on this we are having, see, in cellular level we are having no symmetry. We can't cut that particular organism either radially or bilateral. Okay, asymmetrical. So the phylum which is coming under the cellular level and asymmetrically means it is Porifera. Yes, Porifera. See, let me say again, see, the animal kingdom based on the grade of organization we are classified into two. One is cellular level and another one is tissue, organ and organ system level. Okay, based on the symmetry, this cellular level is having, the cellular level organisms having no symmetry. Okay, there will be no symmetry, so that is why we are calling them as an asymmetry, and the phylum placed under this category will be the Porifera. We are having different phylums in the animal kingdom. In that way, Porifera is coming under asymmetry. Example for Porifera will be the sponges. What is meant by Porifera? It is a pore bearing animals. The entire organisms has pores in their body surface. Okay. Now see, in this tissue level based on the symmetry we are classified into two. One is radial symmetry and another one is bilateral symmetry. Okay. So in the radial symmetry we are having two phylums. One is Cnidaria and another one is Ctenophora. Okay. Cnidaria example. What is the example for Cnidaria? Corals. Okay. Ctenophora, Pleurobrachia. Okay, clear with this? See, we are having in the tissue and organ system level, we can classify it into two based on the symmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. And you know what is radial? Radial symmetry means if a particular organism, if we cut at any plane, we can come up with two morphologically similar halves. So bilateral symmetry means only when we cut at a particular plane, we can come up with the two morphologically similar halves. So in bilateral symmetry, we can classify it into three, based on the body cavity. Okay. So based on the body cavity, we can classify it into three. Okay. The technical term for body cavity will be the coelom. Okay. Coelom will be the body cavity. So we have three different types of body cavity. One is acoelom, pseudocoelom and eucoelom. Acoelom means, A means absent. Okay. The body cavity is absent here. Pseudo means false body cavity. It looks like a body cavity, but actually it is not a well developed body cavity. Eucoelomate we can further classify into two. One is schizocoelomate. What is meant by schizocoelomate? Schizocoelomate means, see, anyhow it is an eucoelom. Eucoelom means what? Eu means true. Okay, there is a true body cavity. The body cavity is present. Okay, so based on the true body cavity, we can classify it into two based on their origin. If the body cavity is originating by splitting the mesoderm, means, see, we have three germinal layers. One is ecto and another one is endo and meso. Okay, if the body cavity is arising by splitting the mesoderm, means it is called as a schizocoelomate. Okay, if the body cavity is arising by splitting the mesoderm, means it is called as a schizocoelomate. If the word entero means gut. If the body cavity is originating from the gut or orchentron, means it is called as an enterocoelomate. Okay, you understand the difference? See, based on the origin, the body cavity has been classified into two in eucoelomate. Eucoelomate what? True body cavity. Here those organisms are having a true body cavity. Based on their origin, we are classified into two. One is isocoelomate and another one is enterocoelomate. If the body cavity is originating by splitting the mesoderm, means we are calling them as a isocoelomate. If the body cavity is originating from the gut, means we are calling them as a enterocoelomate. If the body cavity is not well developed, but there is a body cavity, but it is not a well developed body cavity, means we are calling them as a pseudocoelomate. If the body cavity is absent, we are calling them as a acoelomate. You clear with this? See, acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. In this acoelomate, we are having a phylum called Platyhelminthes. Example, so platy means flat, helminth means worms. Okay, so those worms are flat, we are keeping under the Platyhelminthes. Example will be the Taenia solium, Fasciola hepatica. So those are an example for the Platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelomate, we are having one phylum called as the Aspirants. Aspirants is also called as the nematodes. Okay, so Aspirants, we are commonly called them as a roundworms. See, Platyhelminthes is also called as the flatworm. Aspirants is also called as the roundworms. Those worms are round, we are keeping under the phylum Aspirants. Now, in the eucoelomate, we are having two different types. One is isocoelomate and another one is enterocoelomate. The isocoelomate, we are having how many phylums? Isocoelomate, Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca. Eucoelomate, we are having a phylum Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. So these are all an outline classification of animal kingdom. Okay, so let me explain you one by one. So in animal kingdom, this is the animal kingdom deals with which chapter in the NEET syllabus? It is in the first unit. We are having this salient features, classification of animals, non-chordates up to the phyla level. So if it is a non-chordata, see, in animal kingdom we are having many phylums, non-chordata and chordata. See, from the phylum Porifera to Echinodermata, all these are coming under the non-chordata. Okay, from the Hemichordata to Mammalia. Okay, up to this we are calling them as a chordata. Okay, so if it is a non-chordata, we have to read up to the phyla level. If it is a chordate, we have to read up to the class Mammalia up to we have to read Mammalia. Okay, so 3 to 5 salient features and at least 2 examples. So we have to know for all these phylum, we have to know the general characteristic features as well as the examples. Examples very important. If we know the general characteristics and examples of these phylum, entire animal kingdom will be over. Okay. So now what is the importance of classification? Why we have to see, we have studied animal kingdom, phylum, after that class, family, order, genus and species. This is the hierarchy. Why we have to classify? In phylum we are saying Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, all these things. Why we are classifying? So those organisms which are having pores, we are placed under the phylum Porifera. Okay, those organisms which are having a bioluminescence category, we are classified them as the Ctenophora. So based on the similarity of an organisms, we are placed under each and every phylum accordingly. Okay, so based if I say the poriferans means, we can easily say just by knowing the general characteristic features. If I say one example means this is coming under porifera means, you can easily say the general characteristic features like these are all having pores in it. Okay, so these are all having symmetry or asymmetry. It is asymmetry. Okay, so the general characteristics can be easily given. For that, classification is very, very important. Okay, so classification, naming, so these are all an important thing. Why the classification are important? So as I said before, the animal kingdom, the cell type of an animal kingdom, whether it is prokaryotic or eukaryotic, it is eukaryotic. Whether it is unicellular or multicellular, it is multicellular. The nutrition will be heterotrophic nutrition. See, in animal kingdom we are having many phylums, like 35 phylum, but we are going to read only 11 major phylum. Okay, so there will be a difference between invertebrates and vertebrates. What is meant by invertebrates?
99% of animals, no backbone.
Okay, what is the difference between is presence or absence of the backbone? Based on the backbone present or absent, we are classify them into invertebrates and vertebrates. Okay, so if the backbone is present, we are classify them into vertebrates. If it is absent, we are classify them into invertebrates. See, even though they are well developed organisms with backbone, which is very higher in diversity, invertebrates, 99% of animals are having no backbones, we are classified into invertebrates. So if the question asks like whether which the diversity of animals is higher in invertebrates or vertebrate, means obviously it will be the invertebrates. Okay. Now, so we can also classify it into non-chordates and chordates. Non-chordates and chordates. If the notochord is present, we are classify them into chordates. If it is absent, if the notochord is absent, we can classify them as a non-chordate. Now, what is the difference between invertebrates and non-chordates? Both are same or what? Invertebrates and non-chordates. See, invertebrates, there is a difference. We often used synonymously, but it has to be different. See, invertebrata means invertebrates minus protochordate is equal to non-chordate. Okay, invertebrate minus protochordata. Now, what is protochordata? All these things will be explained in the upcoming slides. Basis of the classification. See how how the classification is actually happening. So based on the cell layers, whether it is diploblastic or triploblastic, whether the germinal layers are 2 or 3, which means, see, this is a male, this is a female, they are producing a sperm and they are producing an ovum. Here one end, which is haploid in nature, they too has to fuse. Okay, that is called as a fertilization. We are having a zygote. As a result of fertilization, we are going to get this zygote. The zygote undergoing a rapid mitotic division, that is called as a cleavage. And after that, there will be the formulation of blastula. The process is called as a blastulation. And after that, we are going to form the gastrula. The formation of gastrula will be the gastrulation. Okay, so the gastrula means the formation of germ layers or germinal layers. 3 germinal layers, that is nothing but an ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Okay, so if the layer is 2, we are calling them as a diploblastic. If the layer is 3, we are calling them as a triploblastic. Clear? So where if it is a diploblastic, there will be the absence of the mesoderm. Instead of the well developed mesoderm, that is a middle layer, they are having a gelatinous gel like substances which is called as a mesoglia. We are going to see that. So based on this also they are they are classifying level of organization, as I said before, whether it is cellular level or tissue level, organ level or organ system level. Name of the coelom, whether it is acoelomate or pseudocoelomate or eucoelomate, based on that they are classifying. Presence or absence of segmentation. Some of the phylum, those organisms which is placed in some phylum are having the segments. For example, earthworm. In earthworm we are having a segments and this is placed under the phylum Annelida. So the concept of segment has been seen in Annelida, so that we can say, so the organisms, majorly all the organisms present under the Annelida having these segments. So this is why classification is very important. If we know the name Annelida, we can come into say whatever be the organism is, they are having the segments. Okay, so this is why classification is very important. Now, presence of notochord. If the notochord is present, we are placing under the chordata. If it is absent, we are placing under the non-chordata. Clear? So, now organization of organ systems. Now, cellular level of organization. As I said before, see, animal kingdom, we are divided into two based on the grade of organization, cellular level, tissue, organ and organ system level. In the cellular level, what is the symmetry we have seen? Asymmetry. Okay, in the asymmetry, which phylum? Porifera. Example? Sponges. So, that is what? A cellular level of organization is the simplest animals like sponges, porifera. You understand? Yes. Cells are functionally independent and not grouped into tissues. Here there will be no concept of having the tissues. There will be no group of cells. There will be an individual cells. Okay. Each cell is going to perform their own functions. Okay. Now, tissue level of organization. See, in animal kingdom, we have classified into two cellular level, a tissue, organ and organ system. In the tissue level, what we have studied? See, based on this, we have classified into two. Radial and bilateral symmetry. In the radial symmetry, we have studied two different phylums, Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Okay, so these are all the tissue level of organization. Okay, so tissue level of organization means what? The cells, group of cells are aggregate to form a tissues. Okay, so all these tissues are going to do same function coordinatively, in a coordinative manner. Okay, so due to the nerves and sensory organs. You clear with this point? And see, these radial symmetry, those organisms which are having a radial symmetry, definitely they are a diploblastic animals, which means what? They are going to have only two layers instead of mesoderm. What they are all having? Endoderm and ectoderm. Instead of mesoderm, which is present between the endoderm and ectoderm, it is a gelatinous substance called mesoglia, and mesoglia they are having amoebocytes. We are going to see that. So, diploblastics, radial symmetry, and example will be the cnidarians, Hydra, Coelenterata. Cnidaria is often called as the Coelenterata. Now, clear up to this? Now, organ level of organization. See here, different tissues, as I said before, different tissues combined to form an organs, they are going to do a specific function. That is what an organ. See, animal kingdom, once again, what is the cellular level? On organ system, radial and bilateral symmetry. In the radial, we are having two. Very good. Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Bilateral, we are classified into three. Okay. So, here it will be asymmetry, porifera and sponges. You clear up to this? So, the question may ask like, though the porifera are cellular level or tissue level. Okay. Or, so they can ask like, the cellular level of organization, the organisms which are having the cellular level of organizations with no symmetry. So, what is the phylum? It is a porifera. Okay, the question may ask like this. Okay, so like that we can classify into two, radial and bilateral symmetry. In radial symmetry, we are having Cnidaria and Ctenophora. In bilateral, we are having acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, eucoelomate. In acoelomate, we are having a phylum called Platyhelminthes. So, coming here. So, this Cnidaria and Ctenophora are tissue level of organization. This Platyhelminthes, they are the organ to organ system level of organization. So, from the phylum Platyhelminthes, can we say all the phylums are organ system level of organization? We can say. Okay. So, now appears first in the phylum Platyhelminthes and it is in the higher phyla. Okay. Now, organ system level of organization. So, see, after this pseudocoelomate, which means Aspirants, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, all will be coming under the organ system level of organization. Organ system means group of organs, they are going to do a similar function and we are calling them as the organ system. Okay. Now, example for organ system means, as I said before, digestive system, circulatory system. So, digestive system. Coming to the digestive system, we are having an incomplete and complete digestive system. Incomplete, what is meant by incomplete digestive system? Very good, single opening. Okay, so generally in human beings the alimentary canal will be mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine, anus. So this is what a complete digestive system. It has one opening to eat and it has one opening to excrete the waste. So in case of incomplete digestive system, they are having only one opening, either it will be the mouth or anus. Clear? So in case of a complete digestive system, there will be one opening as mouth so that it can eat. So there will be one opening called anus, it can eliminate the waste. So if the digestive system is complete like this, we can say that as a complete digestive system. So Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, up to this they are incomplete digestive system. They are having incomplete digestive system. The complete digestive system has started to arise from the phylum as Helminthes. Okay, the question can also be asked like this. Now, coming to the circulatory system. Circulatory system means it has two types. One is open circulatory system and another one is closed circulatory system. In open circulatory system, there is no blood capillaries. Okay, the blood will not flow in the blood capillaries. There will be absence of blood capillaries. Here, the blood fills the tissue spaces, no capillaries. So that is what a open type of circulatory system. Closed type means there will be the presence of blood capillaries. The blood flows through the blood capillaries. Okay, so that is what a closed type. So here those arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, urochordata. So these phylums are having the open type of circulatory system. Annelids, cephalochordates, vertebrates, they are having a closed circulatory system. This can be asked in a question. Mostly arthropods and mollusks, they are open type of circulatory system. Annelids are having the closed type of circulatory system. This can be asked in a question. So, as I said before, which is diploblastic and triploblastic? Diploblastic means, see, this is an ectoderm, this is an endoderm, there will be no mesoderm. Instead of that, there will be the gel-like substances is there, that is called as a mesoglia. Okay, so here this is an ectoderm and this is an endoderm, there will be the middle layer mesoderm, so that we are calling them as a triploblastic. So those organisms which are having a radial symmetry, they are exhibiting a diploblastic or triploblastic? What? See, in animal kingdom, once again, animal kingdom we are classified into cellular, tissue, organ and organ system. Okay, they having no symmetry, porifera and sponges. Okay, no symmetry. But here we can classify it into radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. In radial symmetry we are having Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Bilateral symmetry further we are going to classify it into acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. So those organisms which are having this radial symmetry, that is Cnidarians and Ctenophora, are diploblastic. Okay, so those organisms which are bilateral symmetry, right from the Platyhelminthes up to the chordates, they are triploblastic. Clear? The question can also be asked from this. So whatever I have explained in the picture, the same thing will be here. Diploblastic means they are having only two embryonic layers. One is ecto and endo. Instead of mesoderm, they are having a mesoglia. Here there will be an undifferentiated layer. Okay, there will be nothing present here. See here, from the ectoderm and endoderm, so I have explained to you that gastrula, blastula, gastrula, gastrulation. So what is the point of having these three layers? In each layer, different organs is going to arise. See, we are seeing the nervous system from here itself. So it is originating from the ectoderm, outer body layer. Endoderm means inner gut is arising in the endoderm. So examples will be the corals, jellyfish, sea anemones. Symmetry will be radial symmetry. Clear? See, those organisms which are having the radial symmetry, they are exhibiting the diploblastic animals. Now, triploblastic, which means three germinal layers, ecto, endo and meso. In ecto, skin, hair, neurons, nails, teeth were arising. In middle layer mesoderm, muscle, bones, heart, reproductive organs is originating. In endoderm, guts, lungs and important organs are secured in the inner layer, that is endoderm. So those organisms which are having a bilateral symmetry, they are having the triploblastic. Yes, they are exhibiting the organ system level of organization from the phylum Platyhelminthes, that is flatworms, to the chordates. Okay, so they are bilateral symmetry. Some echinoderms are having the pentamerous symmetry. Pentamerous means is nothing but like this. Okay, fine. Starfish is placed under the echinoderm, so that is what is, it is an exceptional. So asymmetry means no definite body plane. No plane divides the body into two equal halves. So that is what an asymmetry. Example,
Sponges.
poriferans. Example, sponges. Okay. So some of the snails, which is a molluscan, particularly the class gastropods, adults, they are also has no symmetry. They are also irregular in shape. Clear? Fine. Radial symmetry. Okay, radial symmetry, body parts arranged around a central axis. See, this is a particular organism. If we cut this organism into this at any plane, we can come up with the equal halves. Okay, whatever be the plane be, we can come up with the two equal halves. Okay, so any plane passing through the axis divides the body into two identical halves. So that is what a radial symmetry. Okay, there will be examples will be the cnidarians. So once again, those organisms which are having radial symmetry are diploblastic or triploblastic? Di or tri?
Divoblastic.
Very good. Diploblastic. Why you are confusing? See, diploblastic, radial symmetry. Okay, I have explained you. Okay. So see, what are the examples can be seen in the cnidarians. Corals, sea anemone, jellyfish, all will be coming under the phylum cnidarians. Okay, there are some different types of radial symmetry. Okay, pentamerous radial symmetry and biradial symmetry. Pentamerous radial symmetry. Pentamerous means seen in echinoderms with 5 planes of symmetry, which means we can cut this particular starfish like this, this 5 at 5 times we 5 planes we can cut this starfish. Biradial means it is a mixture of bilateral as well as radial symmetry. Okay, fine. So it is a combination of radial, bilateral and 2 planes of symmetry. Longitudinal, sagittal, longitudinal and transverse. Okay, so this is how we can cut this. Example will be the comb jellyfish, Pleurobrachia, which means which phylum? Ctenophora. Okay. So this is what a pentamerous radial symmetry. This is what a transverse and longitudinal, sagittal and longitudinal. Okay. Bilateral, biradial symmetry. Bilateral plus radial, biradial symmetry. See, once again, bilateral symmetry only when we cut on either side of a central plane, we can come up with the two similar halves. Only when we cut an organism at a particular plane, we can come up with the similar halves. So that is what a bilateral symmetry. Now what is the features? Distant, dorsal and ventral sides, anterior and posterior, left and right sides, all equally separated. See, in human beings, here one eye, here one eye. It will be the nose, it will be the mouth. So we can easily cut like this to get an equal halves. So those organisms which are exhibiting the bilateral symmetry are triploblastic animals, from the flatworms to the chordates. Clear? So insects are the best example for the bilateral symmetry. Now body cavity. So body cavity, so what is the point of having this body cavity? Okay, first of all, before that, body cavity is present between the body wall and the alimentary canal. Okay, see, the body cavity is between the body wall and the alimentary canal. It is usually lined with the mesoderm. So this is an important point to remember. Okay, so the body cavity is always lined with the mesoderm and it is present between the body wall and the alimentary canal. So what is function of body cavity? It helps in the movement of internal organs without changing their place. Okay, so we are having a proper body cavity. If I ask where is the heart is present means you can easily say it is in the thoracic region. Where is the, so each and every organs in our body have the correct proper location. So all because are maintained by the body cavity. Without changing their location, it helps in the movement of the particular organ. It is also useful in the circulation of nutrients, supports complex organs development. Clear? Now, so we have three different types of body cavity. One is acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. As I said before, acoelomates there will be no body cavity, but here pseudocoelomate means there will be the body cavity is there, but it is not a well developed body cavity. But see here, it is a coelom. It is a well developed body cavity. You can see each picture. Okay. So acoelomate is the body cavity present in which phylum? Acoelomate is present in which phylum? Once again I have to say, do I want to? Animal kingdom, we can classify them into cellular level, tissue, organ and organ system. In cellular level we are having asymmetry, having porifera, sponges. Okay. So in the tissue level we can classify it into two: radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. Radial symmetry we are having a two phylum, Cnidaria and Ctenophora. What is the example for Cnidaria? Coral, jellyfish. Ctenophora, pleurobrachia. So bilateral we can classify it into three based on the presence or absence of the coelom. If the coelom is absent, we are saying as the acoelomate. Example, platyhelminthes. Okay, platy means flat, helminth means worm. So those worms are flat, we are keeping in the platyhelminthes. So next one is ashelminthes. Sorry, pseudocoelomate. Here the coelom is not very well developed. Body cavity is present, but it is not a very well developed body cavity. So example for the phylum, which phylum is placed under the pseudocoelomate? Ashelminthes. It is also called as a roundworms. Example for this ashelminthes will be the ascaris. Okay. So here in eucoelomate we can further classify it into schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. So those body cavity is arising by splitting the mesoderm is called as a schizocoelomate. Those body cavity is arising from the gut is called as an enterocoelomate. So Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, all these are coming under the schizocoelomate. Enterocoelomate means echinoderms, hemichordates and chordates. All these are coming under the enterocoelomate. Any doubts in this? Now acoelomate, no body cavity will be there. Okay. No body cavity, there will be, it limits a free movement. If the body cavity is present, then the organs can be move freely. Okay. Here there will be no organs, body cavity is present here. Example will be the flatworms. Okay. Now pseudocoelomate, here the body cavity it is not fully lined by mesoderm. What is the definition we have studied for body cavity? It has to lined with mesoderm, but in pseudocoelomate it is not fully lined by mesoderm. That is why we are calling them as a pseudocoelomate. Okay. So here the cavity is filled with pseudocoelomic fluid, and what is the function of this fluid means to maintain it, it can act as the hydrostatic skeleton. It is just for a balance. Okay, so the example will be the roundworms. Okay, now see this is a coelomate. Coelomates are eucoelomate. So what is meant by eucoelomate? The body cavity is present here. Okay. So here this can be classified into further two types, schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. Okay. Schizocoelomate means the body cavity is arising by splitting the mesoderm. Here the body cavity is arising from the gut. So those organisms, we are saying this sisal and enterocoelomet. We'll stop up to this. We'll finish it.